Welcome to another live podcast for Earthworks Hub. I'm your host, Ivan Orlovic. You are joining me on this Sunday, the 6th of April 2025. We are streaming on Instagram and on TikTok. So this is streaming across both platforms at once. So thank you to all the viewers that have joined me tonight for this jam-packed session. So tonight I have a lot of stuff going on, so you do want to hang around all the way through. Very, very good stuff happening. The biggest thing is I'm going to have Daniel from Moasure joining me live from Germany. So he is going to give us a quick tour of his site at the BAUMA Germany Expo. So for everyone that is in our industry, you probably should know about this. This is a massive expo that comes in, I think it's every 3 years or 4 years in Germany. It's called BAUMA, B-A-U-M-A. So Moasure is there representing his company. He's going to join us live from Germany in a second. So he won't be able to spend too much time with us because he does have to, I suppose, look after his actual the stall. So he won't be here for too long, but I will let him join in a second. And what else? There's more to talk about after that. Let me see if I can get him on. We might as well kickstart it and go straight into that. And then once we get off the live chat with him, I'll go through all the other stuff. Give me 1 second. I'll just give him an invite.
Here he is. We've got him. Daniel, hey. Good, mate. Good. Yourself?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, man. So you're in Germany.
I am here. It was a long trip, but got here yesterday. And today we're at the stands just setting up behind the scenes. And then tomorrow the show starts.
Okay. So it hasn't actually started yet. You just
hasn't started yet. We're just getting everything ready. So I'll give you a bit of a live, if you like, just behind the scenes what the stand looks like. It looks amazing. So I'm upstairs at the moment. It's double story. So I'll just turn around. So here we are upstairs. Let me see if I can just zoom out. So we're upstairs, and I'll go over this way, and we'll just go down. So this is some of our products on display, and we'll walk downstairs in a minute. So it's quite huge. This is all Moasure stand at the moment.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So that is all one site. I can't believe
that's all one site.
Sick.
So to give you an idea, so I mean it's a massive show. Yeah. So this is quite huge. So we've got Lycra on that side that we won't talk about. And we've got TopCon on the other side of this stand. And then we've got Trimble over here. So we're in the middle of them all. But I'll walk downstairs and I will show you what we have got. Let me just see if I can get this gimbal working properly. 1 second.
Nice. Look at this. So guys,
we've got fall down walking down the stairs.
Yeah, 3 points of contact. That's right. Yeah.
So we've got. I'll turn it over again.
Yeah.
You go
ahead. Yeah, guys. I was just going to say we've got for anyone that's just joined, we've got Daniel. Daniel has joined us live from Germany in BAUMA. So let's have a look at this.
All right. So we have a look at some of our different systems. So the boys are all still setting up. So we've got some of this is a wall with all the components. So Moasure makes a lot of components in Germany that we sell to OEMs. So different hardware that OEMs buy and then make their own solutions. That's a big part of what Moasure does. And then, as you saw at our office, is our Excite Easy 2D system. The really basic 2D system. We've got systems for graders, milling machines. These are our own solutions from Australia that we manufacture. So this is a new screen that we've got for skid steers and tow behind buckets. So this is produced in Australia, this one.
Nice.
Then we've got some receivers. This is another one which is made in Australia, which is our magnetic receiver for excavators. And then we've got some really cool stuff that they were showing for a world first. So, for example, this one here is a new skid steer GPS system. And so they've got a bit of a live new 10-inch display. And then you can see live what it's doing. I'll rotate the blade here so you can sort of see that live on the screen. So that's all done through this joystick. And so you really get a live idea of some of our new solutions. Yeah. This one here is a new IMU sensor that we've developed. I'll see if this one works. So this is showing, this is a little picture of a plane, and it shows an IMU sensor, so it shows how quick it responds as you move what we call an IMU sensor, which goes on a blade, and then it shows you exactly what that IMU sensor is doing. That's that one. A lot of our paving solutions, so Moba's quite huge in the paving space, so that's a big focus for us. So this is some of our paving technology. Then we'll walk over to systems for compactors, systems for we call cranes and lifters. So we put systems on these cranes and lifters to see how much weight's in the basket to protect it. So this is we simulate that over here with this ideas here. So this is a console which you use on one of those baskets, and that's what a lot of OEMs use from us. Same as this one here.
Man, that's so awesome.
And,
yeah, very
and
nice.
that gives you a bit of an idea of who we are. But the worst thing about all of this is, I'm going to show you. It's horrible.
Oh, no.
This bloody
Bad news,
coffee
right?
machine with no almond milk. This bloody coffee machine. Yeah.
Bloody Germans, they don't believe in almond milk, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bloody pissed. Yeah, but now everything else is good.
Oh, man. No, that's so good to see, man. I can't believe it's double story. So it must be massive there.
It's massive. It's absolutely huge. Yeah, really is. So, yeah.
Oh.
I'm just trying to get this Kimball to face me, but yeah, it's like I said, it's a huge, huge event for us. I won't say how much the stand costs because it's big, it's big money. But it's I think it's really quite a impressive thing we've got here going on.
Yeah. Nice color coordination as well, man. It really it gets your eye attention.
And I'll just show you from here again. So just to give you an idea of the whole booth. So as you come, that's the upstairs section where we were before. And then you really see how massive it is, yeah?
Man, that's crazy.
And all the different hardware and electronics and so on going on.
Yeah.
So it's quite cool.
Yeah.
This is this is what we call our innovation center. So new products that we've developed that goes in this special glass house.
Yeah.
And that's us.
Nice. No, that's really good, man. I appreciate the tour. So this is Daniel from Moba doing a tour from BAUMA in Germany. So he's actually live from Germany.
Yep. No, glad to be part of it. I'll have to jump out because I've got to finish setting up. But the show starts tomorrow. If any Aussies are around, of course, come and see us. We'd love to have you on the stand. There are a few of them here already. So Jack's already here and a few other customers from Melbourne or from Australia in general. So, please come over, see us, and we'll show you what's new in the world of Moba.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That's really good. Thank you for taking the time to show us as well, man.
No problem
enjoy
at all.
it. We'll talk anyway during the week.
No
all right, all the best.
Take it easy.
See
Ciao. Bye.
Yeah, well, there we go, people. So that was Daniel from Moba, live from BAUMA in Germany. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. I've got the microphone still on. If it's not on, that is what it is. This microphone gives me grief. I actually get anxiety before the shows because I don't know whether this microphone is going to work or not. It's so temperamental. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us on this live session on Sunday as usual. A quick shout out to a couple of people before we continue, and that is Simonic Civil, who I interviewed, Simonic Earthworks nowadays, for giving me a hat and also a hoodie, which I've got somewhere in the back there, but also to On Grade Civil. I'll move this microphone. So that's from On Grade Civil, and this is the special Formula 1 2025 edition. So he just did the Melbourne Grand Prix, all the berms and that in there. Yeah, that is David's hoodie. Yes, it is. Great as official. Look at that. That is one of his famous hoodies. I tell you what, man, it's actually really nice. Even his hat from Simonic and that, it's pretty cool, man. I like it. I enjoy it. Enjoy wearing it. So thank you for sending me some merch, and a quick shout out to the boys. So Simonic Earthworks. If you haven't heard the interview with him, go and have a look at that on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple. And also, I will be hopefully having David on one day as well. Steady, I'll call him, from On Grade. Graders official is saying he's all from Ober now. Oh, yeah, that's right. It could be. It could be. Yeah, that's right. So as we just saw then, we had Ober on live from Germany. So thank you as well to Daniel. Okay. And a quick thing. So we'll continue on now our regular show. To everyone on TikTok, hopefully you guys can still hear me as well. Today is a special day for me. It's my wedding anniversary. So I have spent 23 years with my wife. And if I can offer a secret to anyone that is wondering how do you maintain such a strong relationship for so long, especially when we have a business in Earthworks, and then on top of that doing all this stuff, it would be the one bit of advice I could give everyone is communication. Communication is the key for all relationships. With your partner, you need to always communicate, man. So in order to make it this far, I think communication is the biggest secret. Whatever it is. So whether it's negative or positive stuff, so whatever it is, even when you're trying to mix, thank you to everyone saying congratulations. I'm getting a whole bunch of congrats there. Thank you so much. 23 years. The way I did it is basically including my wife in all decision making, not asking for permission. You know, some of us have a laugh and gaze under the thumb asking for permission and that. It's more like just involving them in decisions, because whatever decisions I make affect the family in total. So whether I'm looking at buying new equipment, whether I'm buying or selling my equipment or changing direction, you need to involve your partner. You can't be just, giving them secondhand information and say, oh, by the way, I've just sold everything, or I've done this or done that. And I think that is the key. So I won't go on about it too much, but that is my piece of advice for anyone, especially all of us that are in this industry. We know what it's like. It's not easy. And your partner probably cops a lot of stuff when you get home. I know we get home and sometimes we've had enough, we had a big day. And you got to also include them in all your sort of decisions and that. That's what I can say. That's my little piece. Be interesting to hear what other people say. I did do a little bit of a podcast on relationships and dealing with your partners with a business. And I think the other thing is too, even if they don't know everything about what you do, and you think, oh, they don't understand anyway, they don't really know. They do, man, because they hear a lot of things. You'd be surprised what your partner hears, and they actually see things from an outsider point of view. So a lot of times I use my wife as my devil's advocate. So I'll be like all revving, yeah, I'm going to buy this machine, that machine, I'm going to buy this and do that. And then she'll be like, whoa, hang on, slow down. Weren't you saying last week that you got sick of this? Or weren't you saying last week this is too much? So yeah, your partner is, I suppose, it plays a big part, plays a very, very big part in your life and your business. So make sure you include them, and communication is key. There you go. Just don't communicate too much. Sometimes I joke around too much and then I get myself in trouble. So just don't forget they're still your partner. All right. So with that in mind, we just had Moba on. For anyone that's just joined, we had Moba join us live from BAUMA. I nearly said live from Moba. From BAUMA in Germany. It's a massive, massive expo. I didn't get a chance to go this year. It sort of just came along too quick. But I would love to go there in the next one. So I think it's every 3 years from memory. So I do want to try and make plans to go to that next one. That would be on my bucket list. Kinghorn Excavations has joined. Actually, Kinghorn, while you're on here, if you're still here, you'll probably notice this from Mr. Steady. It'd be good to find out how you went with your little 6-way blade that you bought for your posi track. That'd be really interesting to hear about. Last week, I interviewed Aaron from Walsh Civil and Haulage. That interview was really, really good, really interesting. I learnt a fair bit about graders, because I know that graders, it's, any machine really, it's not just about operating the machine. But with the grader, I didn't really know that the team that you have around you really, really makes a difference. So Aaron was explaining in his podcast, if you haven't heard that episode, go and listen to it as well. He was explaining how it's not just about sitting in the grader. You need to know the compaction, moisture content. You need to know, what sort of material you're laying down. And you've got to control a lot of things here. You've got to make sure that your trucks are unloading material and running it out the way you want them to run it out. Otherwise, it makes your job hard. Then you've got to make sure that the water cart guy is giving you enough moisture in your material, not overdoing it, flooding it. Then you got to make sure the guy on the roller's doing a good job, making sure that you understand how to set up your laser, get your GPS going, set up your what was I going to say? Yeah, your total stations and all that. You got to make sure everything's running smooth, because when you're running out the material, 10 mil across a big area can be very, very costly for a customer, and they will not be happy if you stuff it up. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of hats to wear as a grader operator. So, my hat goes off to Aaron and anyone else that is using a grader. Graders official has joined as well before, so I fully understand how it is now for you guys. It's not just a simple fact of sitting in the grader and just going for it. Oh, Jenna Troy has said, yeah, the UTS. That's right, yeah. All right, so if you haven't heard that episode, go and listen to that. That was a very, very interesting one. He did talk about something else that was interesting. He spoke about how he went and got a contract made because he got sort of got duped out of a payment from a customer, and he was saying a way to avoid that is to put like a PPSR section in your contract. And for anyone that wanted to know a bit more about that, because some people were asking me like, what is that? And I didn't even know. So I thought I'll go and quickly do a little bit of research on it. So I didn't get too far, but I'll give you what I've got so far, which could be handy for anyone that is doing work for people. And I'm talking about, bigger money as well. So when you've got a lot of money involved, if you can put like a PPSR thing on one of their vehicles or some of their assets, at least if you don't get paid or they go into liquidation and that, you've got some chance of recouping some of those things. They can't just give them away or get rid of them because you're allocated to that property first. So I've sort of basically explained a little bit what I've found, but basically the PPSR stands for the Personal Property Securities Register, the PPSR. And it's a national database, so I'm just reading what I actually got here, is a national database that stores details of security interests registered against personal property, such as cars, boats, and most other assets, apart from real estate. So you can't do it on real estate. So who would use the PPSR? And this is where it's interesting. So financial institutions use it, such as banks and finance companies, which we know, which provide loans, and then they receive a security interest in an item of personal property. So, that's pretty standard. So you're using something as collateral. But businesses who sell personal property on credit or provide a service for credit, or on consignment. So this is where we come into it. So basically what I think Aaron was saying is that if you can get a good lawyer or a solicitor, so if you've got a company one that you use, get them to have a look at how they can put something in there, especially for big jobs and people that have been ripped off will probably their ears will be lifting right now thinking, hang on a second, they'll be pricked up. Yeah, you can use this somehow in your contract, but like Aaron said, the only thing is you've got to be able to obtain a VIN number or a rego of a vehicle that you want to put a PPSR against. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is just what I've quickly read. I did a little bit of research today because some people were asking me to find out a bit more about it. I might do another full episode on what it actually is and get some professionals in, but this is just what I read. And what is the PPSR for? Basically, it's used to register. What is the PPR used for? The register is used to determine priority for secured creditors in the case of a debtor default or liquidation. So that's what it means. So basically, there was an example here I saw. Where is it? Where's the example? Oh, and it also says, do you need to get permission from the customer before placing a PPSR on them? And it says, no, you don't. However, there needs to be reasonable grounds. And for example, if you offer the customer a credit account, then you sell goods to them or provide a service to them on credit terms, then you have established reasonable grounds. So there you go. So for anyone that is, doing some larger contracts, well, look, you know what, even smaller jobs, you can, and definitely, leasing companies would have that. Hiring equipment is, you would make sure you see your lawyer and see if you can get that attached in there. So Wally's equipment hire, so J.R. Wally or Wally's equipment is saying, hey mate, I've got these on all my hire equipment. Cheers, Wally. There you go, man. So I might have to do a little bit more research on that for you. And Az has just joined as we speak about the PPSR. So if you are interested in learning a bit more about that, speak to your company lawyer if you have one or a solicitor and just make sure that you can include that somehow in your contract, where you put a PPSR on a certain asset of your customer to ensure that if something does go wrong, like if they're liquidated or go under or don't pay, you can actually, I think you get to take the vehicle, I don't know, or you get first access to it. So I don't fully understand it yet, but from my little read up this morning, that's what I found. So as has just joined as well, he might be able to give us a bit more on that. And Earthworking Australia has joined. Thank you as well. All right, so what else? Let me go down this list. I've sort of skipped around a little bit. So I did mention my anniversary. Tonight I haven't got a guest to interview, so I'm going to have it a bit open. So if you've got any questions, you can definitely ask any questions that you want, and we'll try and answer that for you. The formalities, don't forget to list your business on the Earthworks Hub website. So www.earthworkshub.com.au. You can add your business to the directory so that everyone can find you and use your services. And the listing of this week is Recon or Recon Civil. Recon Civil provides labour hire services for clients operating in civil and building construction, telecommunications, roads, infrastructure, and land development all through Australia. They're based in Victoria. They help businesses with hiring a range of skilled workers from labourers, tradesmen, machine operators, admin, operational personnel, project managers, engineers, and more. So if you need to hire someone, speak to Recon Civil. You can go to earthworkshub.com.au and you will see them on that listing directory. And a quick shout out to my sponsors. So a shout out to MOBA, who came on a little bit earlier, Network Finance, the Bole Group, Melbourne Tractors, Spartan Machinery, Nexgen Landscapes, JR Safety Co, Digga, Godings, Earth Moving Warehouse, Record Time, Plastube, PPH, which is Phillips Plant Hire, and Bare Earth Solutions, who just happens to join right as I say his name. How cool is that? It's perfect timing. And also, don't forget my affiliates, 2 Savage, Hard Hat Watches, and Telesin. And you can get discounts with all those guys just by putting in the code eWorksHub. So if they've got an online store, you can go in there, put eWorksHub in there. Or if you ring up and just mention Earthworks Hub, you will get discounts. So that's what it's there for. Thank you to all the sponsors, because I need your assistance to be able to do this. So thank you for your support. Blesso's Earthworks has asked a question. Here we go. Hey, mate, how is Project Spalding going? Project Spalding is complete. Project Spalding is complete. The factory is all built, ready, and has already got a tenant in there, so it's all happening. So no, the project went really, really well. I finished it. Some people were asking me if I'm going to build another factory. I don't know. I'm not going to rush into another one. I think at the moment, land is just really expensive. So commercial land has gone through the roof. Any land has gone through the roof. But I've done a little bit of, I suppose, calculations and risk assessment and that, and it doesn't work out to do one for me right now, unless I find a bargain somewhere, like a bargain piece of land, and then decide to build. But at the moment, nothing on the cards as for another project. So not right now. What else? Did somebody else ask something earlier? Hang on. Oh, where's Mitchell Morgan? Mitchell Morgan had a question that he wanted to ask everyone. So Mitchell was asking about tinting. So is he still on here? Hopefully he's still on here. But Mitchell Morgan was asking about what does everybody else do for tinting? Like how dark do you go? What are the positives and negatives of tinting your windows on your machines? And yeah, and how dark do you go? What are the best options? So he did ask me to ask that question. He was actually going to see if he could jump on. I don't know if he was going to jump on or not. Anyway, I'll ask it for him. What do you guys recommend for tinting? What's the best tint? 5%, 10%, chrome finish, whatever they call it, or whatever it's called. Mirror finish, whatever it is. So what do you guys think? Blessos is saying that's good. A bit of passive income. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly right. Thank you. Blessos is saying his is 10% on his 6-ton excavator. 10%. There you go. I did hear somebody say they're tinting theirs to 5% the other day. So if if who was that? I can't remember who it was. They said they're getting theirs tinted to 5%. So that's good. If they're doing 5 or 10. What I found with tinting though is, and I said this once before, is sometimes if you have your door open on your cabin and you're working, sometimes you see the reflections on the window on the inside from what's outside the door. So it can be a little bit deceiving because you keep looking to the right in the glass, thinking that someone's moving or something's moving there, but it's actually just reflecting of what's out the door. So that's, I suppose you shouldn't be working with your door open, but if you do happen to do that, that's one thing I did notice. And then also, if you allow a lot of dust to get into your cabin and then you wipe your windows down, you can scratch the tint and then it becomes a bit harder to see. So that's one thing that I've noticed. So I had some machines that I had tint on and I left the windows open and that's what happened. Bare Earth, you're saying 10% and more lights. Yeah. As are you saying, the darker the better until you're on night shift. Yeah, then you're in trouble. Mitchell Morgan saying, yeah, he's doing 5% on his, but was just seeing what everyone else's thoughts were. So, yeah, that's the young lad. Mitchell Morgan is asking what is best. Brett King on TikTok. Here we go. The King is here. Brett King is saying, yeah, 5% on TikTok. And then Terra Pro is saying, get the ceramic tint. It's better against scratching. Ah, that's why, man. Yeah, that's why. That's what I was talking about. Sorry. Yeah, the ceramic is good to get. Well, I was trying to think whether it's chrome or whatever. The ceramic is the one. So, yeah, ceramic tint is better against scratching. And that's mainly, yeah, if you do have your cabin open, maybe on the smaller machines, because you do get in and out, open the cab to talk to people and stuff. So you're bound to get more dust in there. And that's it. You know what I always wonder? How do they do the posi tracks when they've got the mesh, the screens there? Like I never got a chance to do any of my posi tracks. And I always wondered if you've got like that mesh screen on the inside of the glass, how do they get the tint? Unless they have to do it on the outside then. That's a good question. Who can tell me that? How do they put the tint on the inside of posi tracks unless they've got to take all the glass out somehow? Stig on the dig is saying painful with Oakley. As I was saying, ceramic keeps the heat out, especially on the right side in the Digga. Yeah, true. And Terra Pro is saying it is from the inside, the windows pull out. Ah, must be, yeah. What about if they're like permanent windows? I don't know. For example, in my Cat 239, I'm pretty sure I had the interior was covered with mesh and then the glass was on the outside. There were some of the sliding ones that you could probably remove, but I think the bottom ones were not removable. Mitchell Morgan saying the company doing mine pull all the glass out to do it. Ah, so they removed all the glass. Wow, that's a pretty big one. There you go. Blessos is saying, yeah, the windows pull out on some posies. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and Brett King is saying 5% all the way around or you get mad shadows. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, you do. You end up getting a lot of shadows if you tint too much. Anyway, that's, I think darker is good, but yeah, like you say, when you do night shift, like as I was saying, then you get in trouble. Even with lights on and that, it still makes it hard. So this week I actually worked on a Hitachi 20-ton machine, man. So it was a 10,000-hour machine. I'm actually going back there tomorrow. So it was meant to be a one-day job, ended up being 2. You know how it goes. And now it's going to be a 3-day job. And they've actually asked me if I can keep coming back. So there's a massive warehouse, or 2 warehouses, I think it is, side by side, getting built in Altona in Melbourne, and they're doing all the plumbing there. So I've just been helping them out. Not a bad machine, man. I tried filming, so I did actually start filming the machine from outside, and then I got told off. So I don't know if anyone was watching my live session. So I was doing a live session from the cabin as well. And yeah, the safety guy came up and told me I got to stop recording. So I don't really have too much footage of it now, so I've got to be careful, yeah. Mace Savage on TikTok is saying you're looking forward to listening to the podcast with Azza, and Brett King is saying LED on night is okay. Ah, okay. So with the dark tint, if you've got LEDs, yeah, Brett's saying that, confirming that it's actually still pretty good. Blesso is saying, will you be live tomorrow? Yeah, I probably will, man. So even though they told me not to film, I just kept the live going in the cabin. I mean, they probably don't know it, but I just kept doing it anyway. Stig on the dig is saying a 10,000-hour Hitachi is always better than the new Nexgen Cat. There you go, man. There you go. Terra Pro saying, did you tell him who you are? Yeah. You know what? I was going to go and give him a card and say, have a look at this. And I thought, hang on. If I give him a card, the safety guy's going to probably log in and then see me going live. So I thought I better not tell him. Maybe when I finish the job, I'll walk out and just hand him one and say, "Oh, here you go, mate. This is who I am." But he must know. They saw the ute, and I think the guy I work for, well, was my mate anyway. He was probably told them. I mean, imagine he would have, yeah. JPG is saying, why would they tell you off for filming? Yeah, it's a good question. He just came over and said, "Oh, was that you that had the camera?" I'll start again. Was that you that had the camera running a bit earlier? Because I saw him walk past when I had the camera set up on the tripod and look at it, and there was a whole bunch of them. So it must have been a whole bunch of bosses there. So he came back by himself later, and then he said, "I said, yeah, that was me." And he goes, "Oh, look, our policy is not to do any recording on site." So he said, "Just please just don't record anymore." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, no worries." So I just turned it off, but I kept the one in the cabin going. So anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know. They're all these safety guys, and that, I don't know. They've got to make themselves look like they're important, you know. I'm watching this cricket next to me. I keep thinking it's a big spider crawling, and it's walking straight towards me on the floor here. I can't stop looking at it. It goes away and it comes back. Look at it. Yeah. There's a cricket. It's probably like this big, man. All right. Yeah, the classic safety guys. Yeah, exactly. Bless those. Bear Earth is saying, "Got to go, fellas. Need to finish cleaning up from the weekend." Yeah, that's right. The party boy. And Stig, on the dig, was there a policy in the induction? You know what? I didn't even ask that. So I probably, look, you know what? I probably could have pushed it a bit, but I should have just left it. I just left it, man. There's no point. And Terra Pro is saying, Stig on the dig was about to say the same thing. Oh, yeah. And Mitchell Morgan is saying, "You got a mate tonight." Yeah, I got a mate in here. Now I'm paranoid because I don't know where he is. It's only a cricket. It's not a spider, but the worst thing is, when I finish the podcast, I'll have to try and find him, and I don't know where he'll be. But now he just keeps reappearing underneath the desk here. Get off. I can see him over there. Anyway, yeah, so no filming on site. So anyway, we'll see. I'll probably go live again tomorrow, but I'll just have to make it discreet and just do it from the cabin, so no filming. Brett King is saying, "I can't go live on site either." There you go. And Mace Savage is saying, "Limo tint with LEDs at night isn't bad. Had both with a truck and a machine." There you go. So, yeah, I've heard of guys having limo tint like really, really dark, and it's been fine. So I think it's up to the person, I suppose. Yeah. JPG is saying, "How is everyone finding the industry at the moment?" D Martino has joined. How are you, man? Yeah, JPG, that's a very, very solid question, man. How is the industry at the moment? I can tell you what I hear, and then people can also feel free to join and say what they want. You can actually join. If anyone wants to join me live, you can jump in and have your say. It'd be good to hear what people have got to say. Malcolm Excavations has joined. We've got everyone joining. Yeah, if you want to jump on Instagram, let me know, man. But I think everything is very, very quiet. Melbourne-wise, I can speak for Melbourne. Very, very quiet. We had all the Victorian tipper guys go on a strike last week. Apparently, it didn't go too well. Not many trucks turned up. So, but they're complaining there's no work. There's all the civil companies, all the subdivisions, and that are very, very quiet. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. A lot of the residential guys are saying they're quiet. So it's hard to say. However, I've got some mates that do work for like some of the high volume builders, and they seem to be still doing all right. So they seem to be pretty busy. And then I hear of other guys that have got nothing. So very, very quiet. I've heard something about companies like Winslow offloading a lot of people. Simon Brothers apparently offloaded a lot of guys a few months back, and might be still offloading people. So yeah, I don't think it's getting better in Melbourne anyway. In Melbourne, it's not. Brett King on TikTok is saying they're flat out. So Brett, I think you're in Queensland, aren't you? I think Brett's in Queensland from memory. Queensland apparently is going off. Apparently there's a lot of stuff going on. The Olympics are coming. Heaps of stuff going on. Yeah, Brett's in the Gold Coast is confirming. Yeah, apparently up in Brisbane and all that, there's a lot of work happening, a lot of infrastructure coming in, especially because of the Olympics. So apparently that's the place to be. So I don't know. But I did have a mate that went up there not long ago with his truck and trailer from Melbourne. And when he was up there, he said that it wasn't as easy as he thought it would be to get work. But maybe that's because he was fresh and because they all knew he was from Melbourne, maybe they weren't offering him too much. I don't know how it works there. Maybe some politics, but he's back in Melbourne now, so I don't know what happened. I've got to maybe call him and find out what's happening there. Elite Excavations, how are you, man? So yeah, very, very quiet, man, and the Elite will probably attest to that. I don't think it's getting any better at the moment, so I don't know. Steve on the Dig is saying bullshit, Queensland not the place to be because he doesn't want everyone to come up there. He's saying no. JPG Excavations is saying hopefully Melbourne gets moving again. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take, but it isn't flat out, and I don't see it being flat out for a while. Terra Pro is saying tell him to get Queensland plates, and then yeah, true on his truck. I think he's talking about my mate with the truck. Yeah, probably. And then as is saying, who you know, what not what. Who you know, not what you know. Yeah, that is true. It's all about who you know. Stig on the Dig is saying not that at all. Yes. So no, I hear it's also busy in Adelaide. So apparently South Australia is also busy. WA apparently still going off. So a lot of work up there. So I think there's only one option there. I don't know if people are willing to do it or not, but we might have to be willing to travel for a bit until the work picks up again. So maybe there's just been a massive oversupply of machines and people working. Like something that I talk about, Elite Excavations is saying flat out drinking like a lizard here in Mexico. Oh, there you go. So maybe Melbourne isn't as quiet as we think. But I don't know. I think maybe, because I had a chat with someone the other day and they were saying they reckon the problem is that there's too many excavators out there. Like they're saying if you look around Melbourne, there's an excavator on every corner. Every electrician has one. Every plumber has one. Every demolition company has excavators. And then what they're doing is they're using them for their jobs. And then when they're not busy with their jobs, they're going out and taking residential jobs, doing site cuts and stuff. So you've got plumbers that are doing more than just plumbing with them. They're actually out doing other stuff. And then they're hiring machines out. So I don't know. There's a bit of talk about maybe just an oversupply of machines. And that's what's affecting everything and stopping us from getting better rates. Because then while they're, like, for example, if a plumber's got a machine that he doesn't use all the time for his job and he needs it to be moving, he might just go and do site cuts a bit cheaper just to get that machine moving. So then the guy that's just relying on a machine to do that type of work sort of gets knocked out a little bit. So I don't know. That's some of the conversations that I've had with a few people recently. What do you guys think? What's your opinion on that? Do you think it's going to get better? Do you think that's probably what's causing a lot of stuff? Is there an oversupply of machines in Melbourne? What is the go? The plumbing company has joined on TikTok as well. How are you? Andrew Zara. What else is there? Let me quickly go through these notes while you guys are all thinking. If you want to buy yourself some merch as well, for anyone that hasn't bought any merch, you can go to earthworkshub.com.au, get yourself some merch from the shop. So click on shop in the top right-hand corner. If you're on a computer, if you're on a phone, go on the top left-hand corner, and then you can go to the merch store, buy yourself hats, hoodies, T-shirts. There's a whole bunch of stuff, stubby holders, whatever you want. There's T-shirts and jumpers with all the sponsors on the back, and there's ones without them. So depending on what you like, polo shirts, actual normal shirts as well, dressy shirts, everything with Earthworks Hub on it, available for purchase. So definitely go ahead. And if you do get some, make any merch, make sure that you put it up and post to show everyone how it looks. Here we go. So we've got Daniel Walker on TikTok saying there is no trade for earth moving, so anyone can do it. It's the problem. Need to make it a civil trade. That's actually a really, really good thing, Daniel Walker, because I always said that we need to make like an apprenticeship-based system. And it's like, like a 4-year training system, similar to a Sparky or a plumber, where you go in and you need to learn the machine from the beginning, do some extra schooling, like 1 day a week, similar to what other apprentices do. And then you work through the system and you work in one machine and another machine. It might be a bit hard because it depends if your employer has multiple machines. They only might have one machine at a time, so you can't learn everything. But yeah, I think there should be some traineeship or apprenticeship style system. And Daniel Walker saying, yeah, I've done a trade and now 20 years in civil and still learning. Yeah, true. You're always learning something in civil. Bless those, you're saying probably part of the problem, mate. And you're saying that's the case in southern New South Wales as well. So I think he's talking about oversupply. And Stig on the Dig is saying the same thing. And Jenna Troy saying massive oversupply, I believe, being the industry and a dealer. So yeah, definitely. And then you're saying COVID sent the industry into overtime, and now we've probably got no work as a result. So that's true. We've done everything too quick. It hasn't like been smooth. We've just done a heaps of work over COVID, and now it's like nothing's left. And that's what it is too. A lot of developers are saying they haven't got permits yet, and that's what I'm hearing. A lot of these subdivision civil companies are saying that they've got projects on the cards, but no permits released, so they can't start work. And Digga the Digger saying no, it's over-regulated already. So you're saying no traineeship. I suppose you're saying no traineeship or anything. And Azza is saying they have started with introducing certificate 1, 2, 3 in civil. Yeah, true. It's true. They've got like these. I think they're like a 30-week course and stuff they've got now. Yeah, that's right. Like if you go to the on-site training video that I did, you can see that on there as well. Foresight training. Jenna Troy saying there are different types of civil courses now. That's exactly what Azza was saying. And what else was there? Rake and Spade has joined. I like that. Rake and Spade. Yeah, I think it would be good, yeah, to have some type of system. So that new certificate 3, 1, 2, and 3 in civil construction is good actually. So if you go back to my Foresight training video, you'll see where they let me go into the classroom and record to see what they're doing. I went out and recorded the students actually sitting on the machines and being taught how to use them. And it was good. It was good to see. And they actually give them a go in every machine. So they put them on a loader, they put them on an excavator, a skid steer, they were on a roller. They had them on all types of machinery. And every student rotates on every single one every time they're there. And they go and they specialize each machine. So they give them like set criteria to do on every single machine, and they won't pass until they achieve it. So I think that's a really, really good course. So yeah, that was on the Foresight training video. Go back and have a look at that on my YouTube channel, and you can see the whole process. There you go. What else? What else? So that's actually it's a good topic because it is very, very difficult. I get asked all the time, how do I become an operator? What are the steps? And I've made multiple videos on that, and I've actually spoken about it in a lot of podcasts. There's no secret ingredient. You just got to try and do everything. Try and get your bum in that seat as often as you can. So you got to try and do things. And unfortunately, we're saying, even with the interview I did recently with Precision Environmental, we're saying how someone have to be willing to go and work for free on the weekend or whatever, even on a weekday, to try and gain experience. That's the only way you're going to do it. And then start from the bottom, which people don't want to do. A lot of people don't want to be a labourer and stand on site and watch machines, but that's what you might have to do. I heard Jimmy Starbucks say that recently on a little video he put out. You know, getting your ticket is just the start of the process. Getting experience, going out, being on site, watching what people do, that is where you really learn. Blessos has to leave. Thanks for joining us, Blessos. That was good. Good to have you on for a little bit. Jenna Troy is saying, I'm in the middle of building a course for machine control that I want as a national certificate or as a part of civil learning. Very good. Very good, man. That's good. If we can have something like that, that's really good. I suppose, yeah, having a proper training course for machine control would be a really, really good thing, because a lot of these courses at the moment will only teach you how to use the machine basically. And then after that, if you want to do GPS and that, there's actually nothing unless you want to learn on the job as you go. Daniel Walker on TikTok is saying he did a Cert 3 15 years ago, but still need to do an apprenticeship. Make it 4 years at a bad hourly rate. Oh, that's what he's saying, yeah. So he reckons an apprenticeship is still the way to go with operating. Yeah, it'd be a very good topic to talk about and see if we can put something together. Because they do these now Cert 3 operating courses or Cert 3 in civil construction, which is good. But yeah, like you say, they probably have to do a little bit more. But unfortunately, the thing is that operators are just going to have to learn on the job. I think that's the only way. Jenna Troy saying every day is a school day. Yeah, that's right, man. Well, when you're out on site, you learn as you go a lot of times. Uh, um, where is he? As I saying, an RII or ticket only says you can operate the machine safely. Not well though. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you just get your certificate to say that you can operate, and then the rest is up to you to try and work out how to get better. So yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is, and I think it will be like that for a long time. Until something better comes up anyway. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, all right, awesome. So, what else is there? We had Aiden on there earlier. Has he gone? He might have already gone. Let me check. Because I was going to get him to talk about his 6-way blade. He bought a 6-way blade and got a Leica system on there and was going to tell us his opinion on it, but he's not there. Jenna Troy saying 100% to Az's comment. Very, very true. What about TikTok? What do you guys think? Should there be an apprenticeship system for operators? That are very interesting. So Mitchell Morgan, I hope you're happy with the answer you got. So guys are saying you can probably go as dark as you want. 5% will probably be good enough if that's what you're happy with, because he was thinking about doing a 5% tint. But you can go 10% or more if you want, and just make sure it's ceramic according to these other guys. What else is there? So we've got 10 more minutes. I explained briefly what the PPSR is, so make sure that you are looking at doing that if you are, especially if you're doing bigger jobs where you're giving credit for a lot of money. So if you're doing jobs where it's going to be very, very costly, you're going to have to outlay a lot of money to finish that job before getting paid. Look at getting a PPSR included in or a PPSR clause included in your contract. Jenna Troy saying, got to ask, has daylight savings finished on the East Coast? Yes. And TerraPro has answered yes. So that's why I think a lot of people got confused, because they weren't sure what time to log in today. So it is 8:50 right now, yeah. So we're back to the same as everybody else, I think. I'm pretty sure we're the same now as Queensland. So Queensland should be the same time now, isn't it? 8:50? Maybe somebody from Queensland can confirm that. Where's Brett King gone? He can tell us. Or actually, Stig on the dig, he can tell us. Is it 8:50 there as well? Clenet Hire has joined. How are you, Clenet Hire? See a lot of your stuff around at the moment. Clenet Hire. What did I see the other day? We had something. Mitchell Morgan is saying, yeah, it's back to normal time now. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Jenna Troy saying, thanks, guys. I'll tell you what, though, yeah, you can see me wearing a hoodie, so a bit of a difference from, as I was saying, yeah, it's 8:51, beautiful in Queensland. You can see I'm wearing a hoodie, and I haven't worn one in here for ages. Usually I was boiling and sweating in here, but Melbourne has dropped, yeah, so definitely summer is over. Jenna Troy is saying it's, what's that, 6:50 in WA. So, yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Yeah, Clement Hire, he's giving me the old hand. The praying hands, the thank you sign. Yeah, I seen Clenet Hire the other day. Where was it? It was on that site when I was doing the live in Altona. What was it? I think it was a massive scissor lift. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a big scissor lift. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a big scissor lift there they had. Yeah, Phillips Plant Hire has joined. What is going on, Phillips Plant Hire? So anyone that doesn't know, they're also a sponsor, and you can hire your machines from them. They're in Kilsyth in Victoria. So that they hire out machines. They've got themselves a posi track as well now. So definitely go and see these guys for all your hiring needs. Cooper S is saying going to be warm at the end of the week apparently. Yeah, probably. And Mitchell Morgan saying temperature definitely hasn't dropped in Mackay. It's still very hot. Yeah. And Phillips Planlow is saying, yo. Yeah, that's it. It's yeah, definitely cool down in Melbourne anyway. So Christian Galashi saying good comments on the PPSR. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Like I said, I just did a brief read this morning, and I thought, you know what, I should put this up for everyone. We can, if anyone is interested and you want me to do more stuff on that, let me know, because then I can try and get some more information on that. Or if you want to find out yourself, just look it up. It's pretty easy to find on Google nowadays. Definitely look it up and include it in your contracts, because I think it's very, very important, especially in this time. I'm hearing a bit more about some companies not paying and being behind. I think one thing I can advise people is, if you have a customer that usually pays on time and is being really, really good, and then suddenly things change and they're starting to delay their payments and they're trying to prolong things and say, oh, hang on, give us another week, give us another week. That is a sign. There's a sign. Don't be too feel awkward to question them on it. Don't be awkward to say, hey, listen, I need my money. Because it's funny how, and I was saying to Azza in our interview last week, how it's funny how we get awkward about asking for our money. It just doesn't make sense, but that's just how we are in nature. We get awkward. We feel awkward asking for money that should be ours anyway. But don't feel awkward. Ring up. The longer you leave things, the harder it is to get. So just make sure that if you are owed some money, you keep on top of it. Regularly send emails, keep a paper trail, because you can use that if it ever does have to go further. You can actually prove that you did on these accounts follow up with that customer. So yeah, definitely keep a paper trail, keep messages. Don't just phone call as well, but write down the times in the diary and the comments, because you never know, you might need that if it gets any further. So hopefully it never does, but just a bit of advice for people: the longer you leave things, the harder it's going to get, and the less chance you have of getting your money. So that's just a little bit of advice to leave you with this evening. Daniel Walker, sorry I missed a comment from TikTok. He said, when you can make $1,200 sweeping gutters for a grader, why would kids do a trade these days? That's true, man. When labourers are getting paid a lot of money, that is true. There's no incentive for them to do to do any trades and do an apprenticeship for a quarter of the money and do hard work for 4 years. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense. And the plumbing company is saying, yeah, for Marco. Yeah, I'm working for him again tomorrow, man. On my live session, you guys probably saw me having a bit of a SPAC attack. He was asking me to do something. I was like, he's my mate, but he's a pain in the ass. Yeah, but it's how he is. He's just 100 miles an hour. Terrapro is saying, imagine walking out of JB Hi-Fi with a new 80-inch TV valued at $5K and just say, no, I'll just pay you later. Or a hair salon or a restaurant. It's wild. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, our industry uses us as a bank. So customers, civil companies, builders use us as a bank. They will float money by being able to hold money on us. So, for example, you work for a builder. This is a prime example, and I've said this in another video as well. Builders will often say to me, when I used to do a lot of residential stuff, "Oh, we can't pay you until we get our first payment for the concrete our first progress payment from the customer." And I'm like, hang on a second, are you telling me you haven't even got a buffer to get you past that stage? So what if the customer doesn't pay you? And then I think to myself, if you're relying on that first progress payment to pay all of us, that means you'll have nothing left for the next progress. So the next people that come in, so the framers, all the plasterers, the roofers, how are they going to get paid? So I used to laugh because we're the first people on the site doing a site cut, and the builders already having dramas paying us. And then I think, how on earth is he going to pay all these other guys after us? They're all going to have a headache. By the end of it, whoever's last will cop at the worst. They'll be the ones waiting for all the money. So yeah, interesting, man, interesting. But don't let it go, man. Don't let it go. Make sure you follow up people. And that's where the PPSR things come in handy, as I was saying in the last interview. Jobs done, pay up. That's what TerraPro is saying. Exactly. Should be same day payments. Nowadays even on Zero, you can actually use your phone to tap as well. So apparently you can set it up now with your Zero software that if you finish the job, you make an invoice and you give the customer the phone and they can tap their credit card on it. So we should be able to do that. Like I've had mechanics come and do stuff on my machines and pull out the little payment system, and I had to pay with a credit card. So why can't customers do that? Interesting, man. Interesting. But they do. They use us as banks, and unfortunately, that's what happens. And it just keeps happening. All right, Mitchell Morgan is saying he's got to go, so he'll see us next week. Thank you very much, Mitchell. Hopefully you're happy with that answer on the tinting. Rock Cultures SA has joined. How are you, legend? Yeah, I have a lot of guests lined up, so this is going to be an interesting next few weeks, and a couple of nice big ones. There's going to be a lot of a lot of good customers coming up and some variety, if that's what I can say. It's variety. So I'm not going to have all just the same topic, same people from the same industry. It's going to be like a whole variety of things, which is good because that's what I want. So we're going to break it up a little bit. Clenet Hire is saying, have a cracking week, mate. Say good day when you see us on site. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I will say hello. Same vice versa. If you see me around, give me a yell. Brook Group Civil, how are you? He's back again. I saw that grader. That grader is on the site I'm working on, so it's still sitting there. And then Excavator 321474737 has joined again. He was asking some good questions last week. You have joined at the end of the session. We are about to finish up. If I can say one quick thing before I finish, for anyone that's still interested, I don't know if anyone's interested in this technology, but I always thought cameras and stuff, audio equipment and that is all gimmicks. So I've stopped buying stuff because I just keep buying rubbish and finding I don't use it. I always just end up using my phone. So I have fallen into another trap and I bought myself this little contraption. Is that what you call it? This little thing. I bought myself this Osmo 3, whatever it is, gimbal camera. I can't wait to test this thing out. This will be something. Look at this. Look what it does. Check this out. Flips on and the gimbal will follow me around if I want. So I can make it turn around and it does all its own little thing. How cool is that? So this is what I'm going to be using to record all my videos from now on. So this little beast will be floating around in my pocket. I forgot what it's called. Osmo Pocket 3, whatever. Anyway, I'm still working out how to use it as usual. I hope I end up using this and not just having it as another part of my stuff on the shelf. Rock Culture is saying, can't stick around. Thank you for jumping on. Listen to this podcast. If you missed anything on here or you couldn't hang around and you had to go, all this is recorded. I do put it up on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. I think it's on another thing called Castbox. I've never heard of that, but it goes there. So I don't know how it goes there, but it's there. When I do a Google search, I come up on Castbox. There you go. I've never even heard of it, but we're on there as well. So if you do use it, it's on there. This is also video and audio. So if you go to YouTube, there's an audio version and video. So if you want to watch it, if you like to watch, you can watch it as well. Or if you don't care about watching and you just want to listen to it while you're operating, then you can just just listen to the audio. What else is there? Is there any other comments before we finish up? I think I've spoken as much as I can for the evening. I am pretty much done. I've got to go get ready for this job tomorrow. I'm sure everybody else is tired and wants to go. It's a Sunday evening. Nothing, all quiet, all done. I will end with this. Make sure you follow Earthworks Hub on all platforms. That's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. There's a Facebook group. I've got a Facebook page. I don't really go on the page too much. Sorry, guys. You're probably all going on there because I do see a lot of people going on there, but I don't really post much on there. I just post it under my own, which is Ivan Olvik. And then what else was there? Spotify, YouTube, and Apple as well. So all platforms. If you want to be a guest, let me know. Send me a message. Like I said, I've got a fair few now, which is really, really good. So I'm going to give you guys a lot of podcasts shortly. There's going to be a massive dump of podcasts. So keep an eye out for those. And yeah, Sunday nights are still going. We're here every Sunday, 8 p.m. Melbourne time, ready for your questions. The other thing I wanted to ask as well is, do you guys prefer, so I'll send out a poll on this, do you prefer me to keep Sundays open for people to ask questions and just talk about random topics and do guests during the week? Or do you want me to do guests on Sundays as well? So let me know. That would be my question that I'm going to ask as a poll. Probably tomorrow. I'll have to send that out. But that'll be something I want to ask because I feel like some people prefer me to just leave it open so they can ask questions, whereas other guys like it to be as a podcast. So someone did say to me, try and do both, mix it up, which I can do that, and I have been doing that till now. So if it's good, I'll just keep going. But if you guys prefer something different, if you say to me, if majority says they want podcasts to be separate, I'll do that. So anyway, let's see how that goes. I'll put a poll out anyway, so don't worry about stressing. Don't stress about answering now. Guys, it's after 9. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you very much to everyone that joined tonight. Thank you to everyone that gave input. And that is for everyone that's on Instagram and TikTok. Hopefully the microphone worked and you can all hear me well. I didn't even do a proper check with TikTok, but obviously they're answering questions, so it must be working. Guys, have a good week, and I will speak to you all, if not during my live sessions during the week. I'll definitely see you all back here next Sunday. Thanks very much. Have a good one. Take care.